Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com, and this is a Phone Dog Dogfight, Sprint style. It's the Rant and the Rumor 2. See, you can see it. It's tattooed right on the back there. Rant, Rumor 2. Ever since Rumor 2 came out earlier this week, or last week is when I got it anyway, people have been messaging me saying, dude, Rumor 2 or Rant? Which one should I get? What's the difference? And even a few kind of more, snarky, cynical people, who maybe even a blogger or two, were like, why would you get the Rumor 2? What is it? I don't understand. Rant does more than it does. Well, I did some research, and I'll tell you straight up, if you're a NASCAR fan, if you want Sprint's new service, what do they call it? NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile? You gotta go Rumor 2, because it has it, Rant doesn't. Otherwise, which one's for you? Dogfight, let's find out. Alright, so the Rumor 2 is on the left, the Rant is on the right. Very, very similar phones. I mean, you look at, even down to the coloring, both of them black with the blue trim, at least the models that I got. Available in other colors as well. And this is actually something, LG and Samsung, I've been seeing a lot of very similar phones from the two companies lately. You might see a couple more at CTIA. I'm not saying anything. You didn't hear it from me, but you might see a couple of similar looking messaging phones coming out at CTIA as well. I don't know if they'll be on Sprint or not, but stay tuned for that. Anyway, so similar looking phones, and then, you slide them open, and both phones also with the full QWERTY keypad. Let's not install it up there right now. With the full QWERTY board sliding down. I guess the orientation is different. On the Rumor 2, you've got your screen on the right, D-pad on the left when the keyboard's open. On the Rant, you've got your screen on the left, D-pad on the right. I suppose that would make the Rant a little bit easier to use for righties, the Rumor a little bit easier to use for lefties. But I don't know. I mean, you can pretty easily use it, right-handed if you're a Rumor 2 user. So, aside from that, on the back, both have cameras, but the similarities are more or less skin deep with these two phones, because when you get into the features and the specs and stuff, the Rant has a pretty clear advantage, especially now that they're both priced at $49.99 on contract direct from Sprint, as of my making this video on March 19th. Both phones obviously messaging phones, but the Rant steps it up with a 2 megapixel camera compared to Rumor 2's 1.3 megapixel camera. It also has faster data. It has Sprint's one-click user interface that lets you... I'm not the biggest fan of the one-click interface, I have to say, but I do think it's a pretty cool idea that they went ahead and tried to do this to give you easier access to all the different features. And the phone just has more features. If you go into the main menu on both phones, you'll see the Rant is or the Rumor 2 rather, is pretty standard in terms of a messaging phone. It does have a web browser, it's WAP. You've got your messaging features, so you've got your text messaging, picture messaging, all that. You can do email, you can do IM, chat and dating. Stay away from that. But it's all, it's all kind of the basic stuff through the web. The setup for email is pretty good. Sprint's email setup is pretty good. You can hook up to your personal email, no problem there. On the Rant, as we've shown you before, the menu takes you, they're just more features. So you've got a more robust web browser. You've got Google Search direct from the home page, Google Maps, YouTube, Sprint navigation. We'll go back. We'll take a look on the Rumor at the maps. So you've got Sprint navigation here as well. On the Rant, so on the Rumor 2, sorry, I'm going back and forth. On the Rumor 2, you've got just the straight up menu to Sprint navigation. On the Rant, you've got the one-click interface, so you can go, drive to, search, maps and traffic, all that stuff direct from your home screen there. Customizable shortcuts, all that good stuff. We'll take a look at the web browser on both phones. And actually, relatively similar. I didn't go to the home page there. We'll go to the home page, the visionsprintpcs.com page. Apparently I need to turn keytones off on the Rumor 2, but or on the Rant rather. So the Rumor 2 on the left, the Rant on the right. If you're keeping score at home, count how many times I've gotten the names mixed up already. You know, pretty similar from both of the devices. We'll snap them open. We'll load up Phone Dog here and see what happens. I'm not expecting the best out of either. You know what? You guys don't want to see. You know what Phone Dog looks like. Let's go to Facebook. Let's see what happens when I go to Facebook on both of these devices. Should be getting the mobile page. It's interesting that the little one-touch type interface comes up on the Rumor 2 when you hit options. So actually on the Rumor 2 you have to scroll up to the address bar and then hit edit to go to a page, which you can see is a little bit confusing for me. I keep forgetting that I have to do that. The keyboard layout is also different on both phones, and while this is loading I'll show you real quick the Rant on top. The one thing that keeps throwing me on the Rumor 2 is that the Rumor 2 has the period key all the way over on the left, whereas the Rant has it a little bit closer to the traditional computer layout on the right side of the spacebar there. Not exactly sure why LG chose to put the period key way over on the left there. Other keys are laid out differently as well. On the Rant on top here you have the function and shift keys on the bottom left. On the Rumor 2 they're on the top left. Also the Rant doubles up, having the numeral keys 1 through 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0, doubled up with the QWERTY row, whereas the Rumor has them in a separate row, which is kind of nice, but then you wind up with the last row of letters on the same row as the spacebar, which definitely threw me off. The Rant, again, more like a computer keyboard where the spacebar is in a row, not with any letters, but with, you know, the punctuation keys, shift, and the D-pad and all that kind of stuff. So I think, you know, if you owned one of these phones and you use them all the time, you'd get used to it, but the Rumor 2 definitely a little bit different than what you might be used to.